Hi all, this is Skate, and we're going to come back with another video on the WZ111? Yeah, it is the 111, isn't it? That's the only thing I hate about these tanks is the 111-1, 111, and then 111G, and 1113, and... Okay, so I may be intentionally exaggerating this slightly, but I can't be the only one. I sit there going, right, this is the WZ111, yeah, G, FT. 111-1 was the prior one, and 113 is the next one, but we've also got a WZ111 heavy tank, and a 113 heavy tank, and a 112, and... Look, Wargaming made these fake tanks. If you're going to make a fake tank, at least give it a cool damn name. Rather than, I know, we'll take the existing platforms and we'll just add a G, and then an FT. It's very childish, but it really does annoy me for some reason. Wow, I've spent a minute of a video talking about a damn name of a tank. Okay, right. Screw it, starting again. Hi all, this is Skate, and this is the WZ111G FT. I did just check that then. But this morning I sat down to make a video because I have 4 days off work, which is amazing. And I started making a 113 video, and I sat there and realised that I only put out a video on this with about 87% crew not fully equipped. So before I put out a 113 video, I wanted to... Sorry, 113G FT video, I wanted to basically put out another video on this fully equipped up. And during my grind to 100% crew, I absolutely adored this thing. At 100% crew with lots of equipment on it, I love it even more. It is absolutely brilliant. I was actually very apprehensive about going to the tier 10 from this tier 9 because I heard that it's just not as good tier for tier. As it happens, this is just a big angry ISU 152 on steroids, and the other one is a big angry IS2 on more steroids. And it didn't skip leg day because it's just great. But again, these tanks aren't hugely popular. And I kind of don't get why, because the ISU 152 is massively popular. I mean, the damn thing's an icon. Sorry. Check it out. You ready? Should have moved. It doesn't matter how many times you do that in a game, it always makes you laugh. On topic, though. I don't understand why we don't see shed tons of these. In fact, I've only ever come up against, I think, 1 or 2 of the tier 10s. But these are like great big hoofing ISU 152s. They are fantastic. And they've got amazing penetration values. They've got more than adequate armor. In my previous video on this tank, I went through a bit of depth on how I like to play with the armor on this thing. You can play at long range. And you can go up and play the close cuddly game. I mentioned in the previous video I'm not a huge fan of medium range because it exposes the weaker lower areas, but if you're up close they can't be shot at, and if you're at long range they're much harder to hit, which is why I like the long and the short range game in this tank. And do you know what? The tier 10 is exactly the same, just better at it. I will cover that in tomorrow's 113G FT video though. And again, shots like that, they will always make your day, and they're not uncommon in this thing. But one of the things I didn't discuss in my previous video, maybe because it wasn't 100% crew, I don't know, but the camo value on these is phenomenal. Now yes, I do run a camo net on this, and I'm running a camo net on my tier 10. But there's been so many instances of where I have taken shots from certain bushes or certain positions, and in other tanks I know I'm going to get spotted, so I start backing up, yet my little light bulb doesn't go off in this. And very often I just sit there with the, okay. And it was only after a while of that happening I kind of went, okay, the camo value is very good on these tanks. And you wouldn't expect the camo value to be as good as it is for... well, quite a chunky tank. And it has pretty good armor and a monstrous gun. And when used correctly, that's kind of a winning combination. Case in point, ISU 152. it's obscene. It's brilliant fun. It makes monster HE shots. It makes monster AP shots. You barely ever need to use the premium ammunition on that, much the same as these. So again, I'm going to sit here a little bit stumped and say I don't understand why these tanks aren't more popular and why the battlefield is not littered in them. Yeah, the tier 10 is rather expensive. Actually, I got to comment on this because it tickled me and annoyed me at the same time. With this new mission system, which Wargaming have brought in, which I think is great, by the way, but also reminds me of PUBG an awful lot. Look at the grill. But no, when that came in, one of the things they had on it was 25% discount off researchable tier 10s. I was only about 4 games away in terms of XP from unlocking the tier 10, and then I got that thing. Thanks, Wargaming! I reckon that was done on purpose. I was literally less than 8,000 XP away, and that popped out of a crate for me. I used it, because why not? But I've still kept this tank, because I also love it. Thing is, ever since getting my hands on the tier 10, I haven't jumped back in this. I've kept it in my garage. I'm probably not going to sell it, although there is a part of me thinks, what's the point in having a bite-sized version of it? And the answer for that is to bully tier 8s, because this thing is so good at bullying tier 8s. Especially things like ISs, IS3s, IS5s, IS6s, Defenders, because in circumstances where they're like, I'm a heavy, I'm going to rush you, you just face hug them, and they have no answer really for that monstrous gun mantlet. In fact, no tank has any answer for that monstrous gun mantlet, but also when you're face hugging, you can see when they're turning their gun to the left or turning to the right, and you just stick that monster mantlet in front of their gun and go to town on them. One of the other things I mentioned in my previous video on this tank was that the traverse speed is horrific, or it's bad. Which obviously is a big negative when it comes to trying to deal with big, fast, medium tanks or light tanks which can circle you quite easy. Now I'm 100% crewing it. The traverse speed's not that bad in the slightest to live with. Yes, I would still recommend keeping hard cover near you in case something does come rolling in. But it's not as desperately detrimental as, I don't know, say a T110E3 is in terms of needing to keep hard cover next to it as a turretless tank destroyer. Because yeah, this thing isn't going to be breaking any records on its mobility or its top speed or its acceleration. But for the armor it has and for how troll that frontal armor is, its mobility is pretty damn good. And it means in examples like this, we're about to try and pincer this Death Star. As he's looking at the FV, I'm going to come in, take a shot, get back into cover, and I don't even have to pop out now because I know that 50B is coming in and unloading his clip behind the FV. I'm going to try and bait him so he knows I'm still here, but that's it. And if my mobility was horrific, if that was E3, I honestly, or T95 even, I honestly think I wouldn't have had the mobility to get in that circumstance to basically help. So either the FV would have pushed further on the 50B, or it could have just changed the outcome. Either way, I think this is a cracking tank. If you haven't seen my other video on the tank, I talk about the armor and the playstyle and manipulating said armor in much more depth. Go check that out. If not, go and buy the tank, guys. It's brilliant. You'll really enjoy it. But thank you all for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.